The dynamic duo back at it again. We've got some leg lock stuff to go over from, what's up, Pat, from Monday, and I know there was one match on there that I'm super excited to watch. A couple of our recent wrestling students getting to get after.
Oh yeah.
So that should be pretty rad. All right, so let's dive
What's
in.
up, Andrew?
What's going on, bro? Chris and I starting it off. Got Caleb and Danny over there.
We have
And
Luke and Clay.
Clay and Luke, sweet. So I had a match with Clay that I think you guys went over. Did you go over Saturday footage on the Sunday
Yes.
stream? Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys got to watch me get my ass beat by Clay a couple times. He has a remarkably strong strangles, which I was sleeping on, and then he gave me a good reason not to. A couple good reasons. We got you and Pat starting.
Oh yeah, Pat. I'm sure Pat can't wait to watch this one. This one's good.
So I just caught Chris here with that Muay Thai clinch. He's got the clinch on me, so I'm wrapping up his elbows, staying really tight here. The elbow, like the double elbow control that I've been playing around with, wasn't working. So I just reach across with my left arm to his left bicep, reach up over the neck, and then hit a little trip there to spin him to the ground. Luke is working close guard against Clay. What's up, James? Little foot sweep attempt from you.
Yeah, I was working on some things,
Ooh, Danny with the snap
and I
down.
took it a little light. Lightly. Konnichiwa.
What's up, dude? Pat's got you clinched up too, making you wear his weight.
Yep.
There we go, throwing on the front headlock for a second. And Jason and Josh over here above you. So as Chris is giving me guard trouble here, notice I turn to face his feet instead and capture that arm that's underhooking me. So I take away that deep underhook that there it's more of a deep underhook. Right here you see it with his left arm. I can't quite pry his legs open, so I go to address the arm instead, stay heavy chest to chest, and work to a Kimura grip.
You've been liking that to pass his guard, especially. I mean,
Yeah.
that you like the Kimura threat for the guard pass in general.
Yeah, and then from there it's a matter of getting my knee free and then rolling for the rolling Kimura back take, or the T Kimura position.
So Luke is, I don't think he's in too much trouble here, but Clay's got a good threat of an arm triangle.
His arm triangles are no joke, man.
Dude, I saw this so Luke is trying to attack the Kimura. Yeah. He's doing it from bottom half guard, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, here. Trying to use it to work up on top. And Clay, I'm not quite sure how he gets out of it. So, I mean, he's laying on his arm, which is a very good tactic to get around the threat of the Kimura. But he just waits for Luke to slip up a little bit here, and Luke winds up letting go when he tries to circle around to get the back.
Like right here,
Yep.
he gets his hands back in front of his body, or his hand back in front of his body, and then he's safe-ish, and then he could come up on the counter. But yeah, he was doing a very good job of preventing Luke from heisting his hips up and over. Like he felt safe enough with that arm that he could use his free hand to keep Luke's hips far enough away. And
I mean, it looks like it's a good fit, like it's good for a finish. I know Luke is turning, so he's keeping his hips towards Clay,
Yeah.
capturing that leg. That's probably the only thing that he had saving him there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he immediately shoots in on like a deep half guard. Ooh. Pat put you
Yeah,
down,
that was
bro.
me. Yeah, that was
Ooh, the counter.
So I've been going for this though, like the whole time. I've been trying to do different gripping exchanges and going for this outside trip. Shooting for this left leg, and catches on. It's he knows what's happening. So I get a 2-on-1 on the cross side.
Yeah.
And I step through. And he just like immediately pulls me with that collar tie, and it throws me off balance as soon as I go for the foot sweep. And then he picks up his leg and goes for the foot sweep counter. It was beautiful.
Shit, what's the
so
name
well
of that?
timed.
I wish Pinball told us the name of this one. Tsubami Geishi is what it is. It's where you pull the leg away and then counter with the foot sweep.
Yep.
Pat, that was sick.
It was.
Really good. Yeah, then you're like, come on, man. Follow
Yeah,
up.
keep going.
Hell yeah. That was really good.
Right?
Pat was just too stoked to continue. He's like, I'm gonna quit here.
Yeah.
It's the high spot of my night. That was beautiful. I had Chris in some real trouble here. This was a super deep. Like I had his hands gripped at everything. He stayed very composed and managed to get himself out of this. Like right here, trapped the leg, doing all my BS to get under the neck. I'm pretty sure I was under the neck at one point, and when I went to make the switch to get the second hand in play, he managed to run enough interference. He gets his other hand free and totally took this away from me. I was very surprised.
Josh with an awesome Uchimata attempt into a front snap down.
Oh, Riri.
Right here.
Yeah, hell yeah. I love that, man. I've been working that exact combination all week. This overhook Uchimata to the snap down, or to the front headlock rather, and then wasted no time going to the back. Really, really solid. That was awesome. So much content. You look like you're about to sweep Pat here, like looking for a wing sweep at least.
I am. I think I elect to try and stand back up, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember.
That's just really... you, baby. Rusty.
Yeah.
Jordan, did you hear the voice actor for Dale Gribble passed away?
Oh no!
From King of the Hill, yeah. Before they could finish the reboot of the season, man. Rusty Shackelford. He's no longer with us.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Super sad. Anyway, here's more jiu-jitsu. I think I dove in on a guillotine here on Chris at one point. Yeah, like right here. Oh yeah, so as we come up, I think I accidentally punched him. I think I busted his lip open too. I was super apologetic about that after trying to submit him.
Just strangle. Before that, he deserved it, but afterward.
I read that they were like mid-season, like he didn't complete the season. He did a bunch of stuff, but not the full season.
Damn, that's a shame.
Yeah, Luke on
no Leanne and no Dale. I wonder who took over for Leanne. If they
did the actress
scheduled her in.
Did she die or did she just not sign up for it?
Brittany Murphy. She's been.
Oh, that was Brittany Murphy. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Luke, since it's leg locks, focus right here. So Luke comes up into a heavy reap on the left leg, gets the heel exposure. Clay turns with it, and it's hard to tell if Luke, Luke keeps the leg captured. Clay takes a big step over, and Luke's doing the right thing here and trying to turn with it. It looks like, he probably could have kept going with that. Clay did have ACL surgery on that leg. I
was going to say, that's the torn ACL leg too, so he's probably, I think he elects to let go and be nice about it. Yeah. But either way, using it to get on top, I think, is very challenging, especially Clay's a wrestler. So getting him to his back is going to be, I was going to say, that's going to be pretty short-lived, if I had to guess.
Yeah. But yeah, anytime you guys are playing around with leg locks, for the remainder of this week or just in your training in general, keep in mind they make excellent transitions to guard passes, to taking the back. You don't just have to stay in the pocket and keep switching legs when somebody extracts a leg or anything like that. They open up really, really solid opportunities for passing. Jason taking Josh's back.
Jason on the back. And he got into a snap down too, or into a front headlock too. I don't know whether he snapped. I didn't see whether he snapped him down or how they got down.
Josh just took a crappy shot.
Yeah.
That's what happens, bro. That heel exposure. You took a shot on Pat too.
I did, and I kept trying. He was ready. He sprawled, and then I'm trying to follow it up by trying to see if I can get it to some sort of angle, but he's got that over-under type grip on me that Gary taught, and that was tough to try and circle out of.
Josh and I just staring at each other, sizing each other up. I think I may do, I don't know, I don't want to call it out in case I don't do it. I just know I've been looking for the right there. So Uchimata right over to the front headlock. Same thing he just did. But
that was nice.
Yeah, I really, really love that setup. Because you could kind of bait the underhook. So he, whether you give it to them or whether they win it, he goes from collar tie to a quick underhook, and I'm immediately putting the whizzer pressure on, and then I truly attempt an Uchimata here, just to get him going, try to get him to the mat, try to get him on his back, and if it doesn't work, it's fine. You just come up, turn the corner real quick, capture the head, and then now from here, it's immediately he's going to start hand fighting, trying to break the grip open. The very best way to get someone from opening up this grip is putting their hands to the mat. So heavy pressure over, your chest, your shoulder, over the back of their neck, but walking backwards, pulling them down violently, getting them to face plant, except they stop themselves so that they don't, and that puts their hands on the mat. There I tried to add a little trip in. You wanted my knee. You're never going to get my knee, dude. Don't even try. And then using it to try to take the back. And Josh does an excellent job here getting free. Oh no, that was another time. That's not that time. He didn't do a good job of getting free there. Ooh,
yeah,
Clay
is doing
the broomstick. Yeah. I really, really like that. There's one wrestler in particular, I can't remember his name, who does this extremely well. See, once you get behind your opponent, you weave your leg around, and then there's a variation where this leg will kick out the opposite leg. So in this case, Clay's left leg stretches across behind David's right leg, and then Clay's right leg kicks away David's left leg. And typically they go backwards when that happens. You can see he's trying to knock it out there.
Yep.
Trying to get the little twist on. Doesn't quite get it, but David moves forward. Clay does a good job.
I really don't like how he's sitting over top of the knee like that. That just kind of creeps me out.
Yeah.
That's that's a blowout waiting to happen.
David used to wrestle as well. You could tell when you train with him, but this is a spot where in jiu-jitsu you don't want to be. As a wrestler, it's one thing, but Clay might be fighting for the neck here, or at the very least a nasty crossface. We got Jason and Cole working some passing and sweeping here too. And Austin.
That's right. I was tired of Austin sitting over there talking.
For real. Now Josh gets free. Lays on some punishment.
Clay got the arm triangle on David.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, he's ready for him, man. He sees them a few steps ahead and is ready for you to turn and leave that arm in a bad spot. We got Pat and Arsam. Josh had a nasty smother attempt on me here. It was not comfortable. But I can't let him have that. You got Austin's back.
I think I wind up getting, yeah, I put a body triangle and I trapped his arm in the body triangle.
Nice. I mean, that's the best case, right? That's exactly what you want. If anybody encounters some mounted, like high mount kind of stuff and triangle attempts from some of the bigger guys or anybody who outweighs you, I know Caleb did this to me yesterday at during Tuesday's open mat. But like you can see Josh here riding up really high, working to take my back and like being very threatening about it. He's trying to gift wrap me at or arm wrap me, gather that top side arm. And the whole time I'm grip fighting, I'm also looking to get both of my arms, my hands close together, weave them underneath that knee, that right knee of his that's popped up. And when the time is right, give him a bump to get him off balance and then just send everything and go out the back. So you can see I'm just about to where I'm ready to go. Right there, I drive my hands through. Big bridge. And then roll and get away. And then meet him standing. So it's a small vulnerability that you could find when people are trying to hit mounted triangles. Some of those back takes, like the chair sit back take. Anytime that, or any modified mount position where that knee is pointing straight up. Just make sure you get both hands out. If you don't, you leave yourself very vulnerable to triangles and arm bars. Austin really wants to hit an Imanari roll.
Mm-hmm.
Like so clean. Another time with the wizard Uchimata to front headlock. Just be ready for either one of them to work. Then I kneel on the back of his head to make it mean. See how Jason passed here. Okay, all right, he worked. Yeah, we don't have to go all the way back. He worked like a half guard position. So Arsam, when you are transitioning from side control into mount, let's see if we can catch it here. So you go briefly. I wouldn't even call it knee on belly because you don't really pause there. You're trying to take this big step over. But Pat feels this coming, and he is immediately going to capture that leg, or the ankle, rather. Something to try. Get that knee on the hip. Take your time with it. Get your knee on top of the hip, and then drive your knee towards his armpit and straighten your body out. So right now, your spine is almost like perpendicular to Pat's. When you get your knee up top, you could take your time driving up, straighten yourself out, and work to a stronger mount position while mitigating the possibility of Pat capturing your ankle as you go across. Because now, once you're here, you know, Pat's not out of the woods yet. His elbow, his right elbow's elevated, or it was. Now he can start working elbow escapes and those sorts of things. just gives you trouble in progressing. So take your time as you're stepping over. Oh, this is where Josh does a good job of getting out of my back control. I was trying to hurt his ribs here with just some mean body triangle stuff, but he wasn't having it. Right there, as soon as he gets free, hits a good turn, comes around. Probably. I like to light a fire under you. And then Arsum, this is where you're gonna start to experience. You may start to experience a sticking point early in your jiu-jitsu career, right? You've got pat on the ground, then it's all about getting around the legs. Right here, you manage to get full control. It's not really a leg drag, but like you get control of Pat's ankle and you quickly close the space there that you created, leading in with your head. Really good. I mean, speed-based passing. But yeah, as guys get their legs back in, that might be your first sticking point. Just transitioning into jiu-jitsu. Steven is trying to break Andrew's leg real good right now. Going all around. Let's look at this again. We're looking right here. Steven digging deep. Now, Andrew, something to think about here is as Steven gets control of your legs, he needs to make your legs light in order for him to be able to do anything, right? So this is where off balancing comes in. He's gonna, I believe he sets up a cross shoulder post right here in your right armpit, and as you drive forward, he's able to take you off balance, and that's what makes you much more vulnerable now. I'm not gonna say you should sit back and stall, but try to get a feel for how much forward pressure you want to be putting in these situations. I would do it with a crossface in place. If you're gonna drive forward, like right now, I don't see. I can see Steven's nose. I want your right forearm underneath Steven's head, bicep right in his face. That's gonna make this position a little bit safer for you, and it's gonna make it easier for you to sprawl that leg away, that right leg away, and keep Steven from elevating you or entering into the legs. So now Steven comes around the backside. Setting up to kind of an Arimiashi. Now he's spinning more to a reverse. Just taking all sorts of angles here. And then now, so Steven's honestly technically in more trouble than Andrew is. I mean, like he doesn't have any grip on the leg now. But Andrew, if you want to counter here, you're not in 50-50 exactly, like your legs are in a safer spot. But just remember what I've been saying a lot lately about Achilles grips, and even honestly even heel hook grips, keeping the hands very high to the chin. This is a spot where, like, no matter how much you bend into this, Steven isn't going to tap because there's just not going to be enough pressure. You have control of the leg, but you don't really have any like significant threatening pressure here. Would have been interesting to see what happened over the next like 30 seconds. Oh, good to see Braden kick me in the face.
Oh, this is me and Caleb.
I heard about this one.
A rough roll.
Yeah. Did I say Braden? I meant Gavin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gavin gave me a nice shiner in this round. Cole's gonna be like a chimpanzee with his legs here. He's grabbing everything. So yeah, right here as I'm playing around in this armbar escape, Gavin sets in I think right there, he heel kicked me right in the eyeball. Got Clay and Andrew. Did you sit with Caleb?
Yeah, he got a hold of my arm and from standing like an overhook, and I just sat. As soon as he gets that, I don't stick around for very much longer.
Yeah. Cole right here. So, just your leg configuration there wasn't. I was gonna make a comment about maybe going into cross ashi, but like your hand on the outside and where it was relative to your hips probably wouldn't have worked anyway. One thing I did see Cole doing in the beginning of this round was focusing on getting to the inside position with both legs and then pulling his knee back to draw Josh's leg towards him, which is really, really crucial in setting up good leg entrances.
Yeah, using the hooks, for what they are, not just keeping distance with the knees and in the shins, but using the hooks to draw people into that's a good skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Caleb here with this pass, as simple as it looks, he did a really good job of keeping all of my weight on my butt, and to where I was curled up, and because I was going in to try and attack his far arm, because I really like to try and get almost like a scissor sweep out of this. So I'll go in and went double unders, or tried to go double unders, and he notices that I'm coming up into him, right? And he takes that as the advantage, so he picks up my legs and just starts to turn me on my butt and turns me straight around to my right. And then I'm like, well, I'm stuck. And he just continues to pin me from there. And I was like, that was a really slick guard pass. I haven't had that done to me before. So
yeah, he kept his head really tucked, made it very difficult for you, if not impossible, to get your knees in.
Yep.
Clay working from mount here.
This mount is miserable. I was able to get into so he switched, right? He tried to take him out, and I switched, and I went to the outside. I went into a half guard here, but he makes pretty quick work of it. And I'm trying to keep him switched. I'm trying to switch it up and trying to get my body turned, but he's doing a really good job right now of pinning my right arm. My right arm got trapped across my face.
Yeah.
And he was not letting me get that. Yeah, that was terrible.
Looking for wrist locks too.
Oh yeah, he did that. I won't tap to those.
No.
At this point, I was like, I'm giving up my back, because I'm like, I'll fight the back of Caleb before I'll fight him in mount.
Yeah, he and I were talking about this role yesterday, and he had mentioned that to you, how you were playing super tight. He's been working for months now on his mount, and it's gotten, so much better, so much more dangerous. But he's experiencing a lot of us really, really being heavily guarded there with our
Yeah.
arms, making it extremely difficult for him to get isolations. He's still getting, he's still polishing his mounted triangle stuff. So I think he had either spoke with you after this round or whatever, and you said that exact thing to him. You're like, I feel more comfortable getting away from you when you're on my back than I do when you're on mount. And I totally agree with that. It's much, much easier to handle, in my opinion.
And so, and then what comes up next is a result of that, right? So that was the first time that he submitted me, and I think he was shocked.
He was.
And he got up and was like, was that legitimate? I was like, bitch, I wasn't giving it to you.
Clay going into his own right now.
Yeah.
Everybody
But no,
finding these arm triangles, man.
Dude, but like what Caleb just did to me is what I keep harping on people when you're giving. It's not that you're giving up the mount. It's that you really need to trust in this like this positional dominance that you have, and like what you're actually doing to the person on bottom. He was wearing me down because I was attempting to get out and I was not able to get out as a result of his attacks and stuff. So when I was trying to escape his back, like I wasn't all there in terms of like, you know, a lot of me had left my body here trying to fight all this out. You know what I mean? So like when I'm trying to escape the back and I'm like, I keep my arms out for a second longer than I normally do, that's all he needs in order to take advantage of it and go straight into an arm triangle.
Right. Velcro is digging into my face. Looking at Josh and Cole. I mean, like just briefly zooming through this whole exchange. Heavy pressure from Cole here on the pass. Mind you, he's working with just the one arm on the pass, so it's weird. Like I don't want to like. It's hard for me to think about how to pass with just one arm, but a lot of this heavy. What was that?
He has no post, so it's like I would normally advise for him to try and go chest to chest, but he has no post on the far side.
Yeah.
He would be basically going for an underhook.
And there's danger there in trying to pass with such heavy forward pressure. I mean, you know, we've seen cases of it already. For a second there, Cole, you had like again, I wish you had both hands to use because you kind of step into this leg lock, like this little entanglement where you could throw on a good toe hold here on Josh's left leg, and you know that would likely get Josh to extend his left leg away, and you could either spin the leg into like cross ashi, you could flatten it back out and get to that easier chest to chest position there, or just dig the Velcro of your sling into Josh's face too and force the pass that way. Sosen, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We're up to 202 followers now. It's crazy.
Awesome.
So Caleb gets the tap. Clay gets the tap. I'm tired of everybody being so damn good at the arm triangles. And me not.
Here's another one. Just embarrassed me. I like this is very unlike me. I go in and he immediately hits, like he's just like, get off me, and just pushes my hips like straight away. I'm like, well, this does not normally happen.
Yeah.
He was way on it that night.
Yeah, this is awesome. I think Gavin just did the same whizzer, or no, so he worked from the underhook.
He did, yeah. And he tries to finish the Uchimata. And this is how you can tell I'm out of all the tricks that I normally do. I'm throwing up a buggy choke.
Desperate times, desperate measures.
Yeah. Like I just want you to post up. I just need to get the chest off. Like get your chest off my chest.
Looks like Matt down here had a good round. Him and Jordan. Sosen, do you jiu-jitsu as well? Or you just randomly find us? Oh great, let's watch Clay beat my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
What a shot in the dark. And you didn't even give me what I wanted as a result. You were still laying on top of me at the end of the round, so it clearly didn't work.
Man, standing standing with Clay is fun. I mean, I know I'm definitely like probably like 99% of the time I will not win like a stand-up exchange with Clay, but like it's interesting to feel I guess like his style of takedowns here, because like I don't know, I'd like to talk to him and just see what he thinks about what he has felt at the school in stand-up exchanges, because like I don't know, I think about things like how upright is he standing, which, you know, to me speaks towards confidence in the ability to sprawl and like disrupt a shot. How far people's hips are back, meaning, you know, how nervous are they that like their opponent is going to shoot on them, that they're willing to put their head forward and risk like snap downs and things like that. And like just seeing kind of how he changes postures, how he level changes, how he sets up grips, all this stuff is it's been interesting. Meanwhile, I'm staying super far back to keep him from getting me.
The thing that I've started picking, like I think this is the second stream that I've really watched, that I've been able to watch him train live. And one thing that I have noticed is that it seems like he takes more of a defensive posture, kind of like a Bo Nickel type of approach, right? A little more square stance, not as staggered. He doesn't come in super low like a Jordan Burroughs, you know, like really hunting for shots and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. He has a very unique approach. And then like even contrasting with the way like our old training partner Mitch was much more of a low shooter, right? Like he was gonna have that you know, he would come off with a knee pick or an ankle pick right off the start, right? He was gonna shoot in nice and low, deep stance. So it is really interesting watching his style.
Yeah, he really likes these like deep underhook throw bys to, you know, expose the back. And then honestly, I think it was like perfectly timed with that seminar we had. He uses a lot of that over the top front headlock, you know, snapping down, working from the whizzer or the underhook, and then cutting back to the front and getting the head under control. 3-month white belt. In. Hell yeah, nice. Man.
Welcome to the club. You almost had that reap.
Yeah, you know, the downside with this stuff with wrestlers is like they're very good at maintaining a solid base. So even when I get people off balance and I'm like working these early leg entrances, right there he counters me with a guillotine that I didn't think he had. I was like, oh, he doesn't even, he's not even under my chin. And then like I just felt my chin touching my sternum, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna fight out of this. But yeah, even getting into those leg entrances, it's often difficult against wrestlers to get them off balance enough to finish the entrance.
Yeah, straight into the front headlock.
And just how quickly he sets up the underhook here to like move on to his own thing. Granted, all this is in 1 1/4 speed, but even when it's being done to you, it's fast and you can't stop it.
Yeah, it feels like 1.5 speed.
Yeah, and I don't know about anybody else, but grappling with Clay is like 3 rounds rolled into one. Like it is, it is an intense round. Definitely saps my energy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he hit a reversal, I think, on Cole.
Cole looking to pass here, passing from the knees. But yeah, now with Danny coming up top, it's going to be difficult to for Cole to put him down.
I think he just does it with kind of like a low cow catcher type of a thing.
Go on, Josh.
You have my interest.
Jordan and Braden. So Clay's in like this inverted rear mount position. I was like, maybe try a toe hold here. He didn't want to stick around.
Yeah, then he just goes and it's only like he snatches the head again.
Yeah, I think this was the same. It was like a similar guillotine to the one he had. I'm like, I'm not letting you have this one again. I'm going to fight this a lot earlier. Trying to get my knee in with the kipping escape. He was keeping good pressure down. He's very close to sitting to a cross ashi here. Clay, if you got your knee behind my leg and then triangled your legs, you're in what's called a cross ashigarami. Very powerful leg locking position. And now this was actually a really solid transition. I think I was fortunate that time was running out. From this, like he's got a Kimura grip. He goes up and starts working to a Kimura where his legs would be the driving factor here. Clay, one thing you can do if you find yourself here again, I want this leg like over my face. Like my head should be in the crook of your knee right now, not in front of your knee, but behind it. From there, you can start to, let's see, I would turn my head in this direction and start to roll over my left shoulder to put tremendous braking pressure on the shoulder, like encouraging me to roll, which exposes my back, which helps you finish the Kimura. So this is what I was talking about with you at the end, where I said anytime you can get your legs involved in a Kimura, it becomes so much worse, so much more dangerous of a move. So this is cool. This is like the makings of a really, really powerful Kimura.
Yeah, the cross Kimura. Or you have the Tarika Plata if you want to do some fancy legs Kimura.
So I think one thing you'll see start clicking with me during this roll with Andrew is what I was talking about that Cole was doing earlier with his leg entrances. I'll point it out when we get to it. There, I think I was trying to do my best impression of you, Mike. So as Andrew rolls, take a big back step and enter into cross ashi on the far leg.
Oh yeah. That was a nice entry.
Couldn't let you just have it, you know? I had to try it myself. I love how game Chris is for just like standing right in the pocket with Caleb.
Anything. Yeah.
Like he just doesn't care. What's up, Joe?
What's up, man?
You're on a single with David back there. He's just weighing heavy on you, sprawling out. So right here with Andrew, yeah, right there. Somewhat decent example of it. So watch my left leg scoop in the middle. Cole, this is what I've been talking about with you. I know I brought it up a few months back, but this is basically what I saw you doing earlier. Scoop that left leg in and then draw my knee back, bring everything in and get to work on isolating a leg. And immediately giving Andrew something to start defending, rather than just being able to set up positive gripping for him and moving forward. There are better examples of that than what I just did. But that's something while you're working on your passing, or I'm sorry, on your not just your guard retention, but your counter attacking. That's a really, really solid technique to throw in there. Andrew went in on a counter toe hold there. But I think, so right here, goes in on the toe hold. And once I felt safe, we were in 50-50, and it was just, all right, let's separate the legs and then go on my own counterattack. So reaching for the heel right there, separate the legs, and then get my grip.
Nice. That was a good finish.
Cole, I honestly think you're already good at it. It's just a matter of I'd like to see you doing it just as consciously as possible. Like the next training session, you should be consciously doing that, because you already do it good. We saw you do it earlier. Oh man, I'd love to. This is cool. So Steven is someone I'm always like weary about taking shots on. I think he's stuffed every single shot I've ever taken on him. So this will be interesting to see how Clay approaches Steven, who goes to sit there. But they get to stand in here in a second. Jason with some heavy collar ties. Oh, Matt's kind of blocking it.
He goes for a go behind, like a.
Oh, he just sneaks his head up.
Under. Yep.
Yeah. Steven turns toward it and goes down with it.
But he's in on the head.
And in a better spot than Steven with
Right.
The head control. Into the dogfight. Back to standing. Right to a snap down. Or front headlock. How did Jason get Matt to the ground here? Did Matt... Okay, Matt sat. Understandable.
I don't know where that came from, Josh, but yeah, carburetors. It's definitely not fuel injection.
Steven and Claire are just working in a big slippery puddle right now.
Yeah. I love where this is going, Josh. Keep them coming.
I have no idea what's going on. So Clay was looking for a figure 4 there. Steven throwing up some solid counters to keep Clay moving.
Right. Clay's got the double unders. I imagine that's more common in wrestling. For the 4-point stance, being able to take somebody's back and hang on in the 4-point and not slip off. Yeah, little red Corvette. Yeah.
I'm just gonna let chat do its thing and not engage until there's until Sosun asks a question or something. One of our newer, more serious jiu-jitsu viewers. Cheap armbar Joe. Let's go find that. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So, looking right here. Yeah, you guys are on screen. Let's go back a second. So you get your legs back in. Joe goes to isolate the left leg. So you're in like kind of a clamp position. Your leg's a little low down the spine. You can weigh very heavily on Joe's shoulder line if you take this knee a little bit higher up the back. Whoops. Where's my... Yeah, you can barely see it on the screen. But you got that arm hooked. Bring the... I mean...
That's
I
good.
don't know if I would say he gave that to you, Cole. But that was solid. Really, really good. Well, your fat ass needs it, Steven. Moving on, I think we saw the end of the round there. Yeah.
That's Jason and Chris, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Cole throat striking Steven to start. Trying to give Braden a lot of hand fighting here. All 12 of our viewers, Josh, I'm sure will be chomping at the bit to help you out.
I feel like Josh is it's actually a hallucinating LLM coming to life here.
He's had his account hacked.
Yeah.
All right, this is what I've been wanting to see. These two getting
Hey,
after
that
it.
was nice. That was a good takedown by Jason.
Oh, hell yeah. So set up from, he's got the over under right here, and he actually goes to the underhook side.
The overhook.
Yeah, no, I guess he steps through and pulls down with the overhook. Okay.
That was really nice. It was good leg and hip position
Yeah.
to make sure that he was going to take him over.
Let's do that one more time. Commits to the fall, gets his legs out from underneath him, and just goes for it. Love it. All right, I'm unabashedly going to be watching Arsam and Clay get after it here. So if I miss anything
Arsenal's
else,
got the single.
yeah, please tell me. That was a nice
Clay's not
scramble.
going down.
I think Arsam weighs maybe 10-ish, 10, 15 pounds more. I think he walks around 205 right now. Clay maybe around 190.
Dude, Clay feels heavier than 190.
Yeah. Luke about ready to rip Caleb's arm off.
Really nice. So,
Stuffed that shot.
yeah, well, that's what I wanted to look at, like, because that's something that you don't really see. You don't see in jiu-jitsu very much, is the hip. Like, so there's one thing about getting in front of the shot, right, and using your arms to down block and get in front of their arms, right, so that they can't make a connection. But that hip check that Clay gives at the very end,
Yeah.
is something that I don't really see very often.
It's gonna be hard to get fully on screen, but so right there, Arsam shoots in, and then yeah, completely right there,
Boom.
hips forward.
Yeah. And that's like, nope, I want your chest back, right? Like, instead of him, looking for maybe a snap or whatever, he's looking to get Arsam postured up again so that he can go in for like an underhook attack.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he's thinking, like, I wonder if Clay's thinking that he has a better chance of taking him down or keeping him down if he gets behind him rather than putting him down to the mat with the front headlock, right? Like that he's like, oh, this guy's bigger. He might be able to sit out or scramble, before I get the pin. And so he wants to get behind him to kind of make sure of it.
Yeah, yeah. Arsum also has he's got a strong Greco background. I think he actually told me he preferred Greco when he was back when he was wrestling. This is a cool little exchange. So like level change here, but you'll notice I think something that jiu-jitsu guys do terribly is when they get someone's body weight on top of their back like this from like a sprawl or whatever, they kind of just let it bury them. And Clay here, Arsum gets a top position on here, and Clay doesn't stop here. He immediately starts to redirect, go out the side, and then here he backs off, but he's not wearing that weight and letting it sink him down, and then he tries to go for his own counter there. But I think too many of us get a little defeated too early in those exchanges.
Yeah, I know I do.
Yeah, I mean it's a big reason why I don't generally take shots against bigger people, because moving around underneath somebody like that, it's one thing when your opponent weighs we'll say 15 pounds. Cole said Arsum's about 206, so yeah, 15-16 pounds. I would do that against somebody 165. Damn, almost got the
nice
duck under there.
That was nice.
But so many of you guys are much bigger than me, so I'm not taking shots and wearing that weight. Let's look at this duck under. So
Really committed, almost like he was gonna shoot.
Yeah, but like no significant setup here with the feet. Like he's square stance right now. He's got that underhook, keeping Arsum a little bit, not like postured up, but just keeping a space, come right through. Quick level change out the side. Arsum adjusts very well, very quickly, and then counters to a double.
Yeah, that was really slick. Nice. I mean,
nice exchange.
It's like as soon as he felt Arsum driving back into him, he just let it happen. He just kind of threw the arm by, took a deep shot down, like just took a knee basically, and then up.
Yeah, that was awesome. What was that? Are they just wrestling, or what happened there? I don't know. Cool. Starting from seated, going in on leg attacks. Maybe. Not really.
We're like 35 minutes in. They've been training. At least Clay has been training the entire time. I don't know about Arsum, but
I think Arsum may have been off on the side. Maybe we weren't paying much attention to.
So I imagine
they're probably both pretty tired.
Pretty tired, yeah. I know I was at this time. So
Clay threw up a triangle attempt there.
He did, yeah.
That was cool to see. Both of those guys
really
are just gonna.
When he gets good at jiu-jitsu too, because that's gonna suck.
Yeah, I mean, like both of them are gonna be murderers when they start honing their submission, their finishing mechanics and stuff. It's gonna be a bad day for everybody. Awesome to see them get to train together.
Yeah.
I don't know if they watch the stream live. I think they've told me they've caught some replays and stuff on YouTube, but YouTube better help us out too. Get better at wrestling. Get better at our stand-up. We need help too. Jiu-jitsu guys suck at wrestling.
Offensive and defensive.
Yeah. We'll help you break limbs. You help us put people down. Austin with the Imanari attempt. Again. I'm gonna tell him you said that.
Gonna show up on YouTube. Or he watches the replay.
At least he went outside, you know. So you and Cole going over some cross ashi, it looks like.
Yeah, he's. I can't remember what brought this on. We were talking about the leg configuration. That he ends up in a lot because he throws in the false reap. He just doesn't grab the leg.
I got you. Austin's been a fun opponent to, like, just stress test my leg attacks and my the little things I'm working on here. So he's been very scrambly. He hides the heel really well. Here I was trying to work on that roll from cross ashi. We end up getting misconfigured out of that, but having to use all sorts of different nuanced leg entanglements to keep him under control, keep his heel exposed, and stay on the attack makes it very difficult.
Figured him out.
You did?
Combination.
Oh man, I was waiting to see somebody hit the ground hard with Caleb and Jason. You said you figured him out?
Yep.
Well, what is it?
Yep.
Tell everybody on stream.
It's the grip configuration.
Oh.
You've got to go butterfly or reverse rear naked
On outside heel hooks?
On the outside heel hook.
Gotcha.
Or, I mean, inside heel hook would work too, but yeah. That's the best way to get the heel exposure, just to feed in the opposite hand.
So here I'm trying to keep the roll going, switch to the heel exposure, or get heel exposure rather. And then there he made a pretty critical error. It's probably a little hard to see since we're so off camera, but like as I'm rolling up on this, he hits a quick roll again, but crosses his own ankles up. So now I keep them crossed and I just take my time. It's a great spot to be when you could have the legs crossed in front of you. So now you can see I'm working to get to cross ashi or to the inside heel hook. Eventually get it.
Nice.
What's going on with you and Cole?
Yes, he starts passing.
Knee staple. So a lot of forward pressure here. This is what I'm looking for, like a bit more dexterity with your legs and your feet, and setting up just some wedging and stapling of Mike's limbs here it's gonna be a little bit that could help you out a lot. It's also gonna depend on how Mike gets you off balance. So very broad general advice, but something to think about when you're doing this, when you're working on passing at least.
He goes in and gets a good shoulder crunch. If he had both arms, I would have been in real trouble here. But I was able to slip out of just the one.
Ooh, Caleb in a little compression choke. Jason ain't having it. Braden on that underhook to the near side, switching to a tight waist, back to the underhook, counter Uchimata. Who's gonna be Chris's dancing partner?
I know.
There we go.
Yeah, he just lingered a little too long, and it opened up the Uchimata, so I just took it.
Got Clay working on some sweeps and guard retention. All right, Andrew and Jordan. So I'm gonna give everybody who does this sort of training with Cole a leg up, just to make it harder on Cole. But you know, keep in mind that when we're going for sweeps, the general rule here is to take away one element of their base, you know, a limb, whether it's their leg or their arm, that takes that helps them base out in one direction, right? One of like 4 quadrants, right? You take that limb away, you take them in that direction. Cole has his limb taken away right now. So if you guys are working with Cole and trying to work some sweeps, I want you guys thinking very specifically about, sorry, Cole, but taking Cole to his right side, you know, up over that shoulder line. That's going to be your best bet. And the reason that's good for you and Cole, like it's gonna force into your head like the criteria you're looking for that will make a sweep successful, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna have Cole working on counterbalancing, making it difficult for you to actually take him in that direction. He may not be able to base that way, but he could use his leverage and his weight distribution to make things more difficult. So you're going to counter that with, where are you putting your hips? Are you falling to your side, not just falling to your back? Little things like that. So Cole's already giving you an opening. Make sure that you're doing everything you need to do correctly to actually get the sweep. There's a nice little anaconda here from Clay.
He seems to hit those really on the regular.
I want to know
he rolls the
where he
opposite
learned
way.
them.
Yeah.
That one you rolled the way, or did he?
No, he rolled the wrong way. I rolled towards the arm.
Oh yeah, you
the arm.
collapsed the arm underneath, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Cole had his right arm available to post, he would be able to post out.
Yeah. There you go. That's the whole joke for you. That's how we train at Mooresville. No, I'm just kidding.
Wish, then I had more mat time.
Yeah, right.
Danny and Joe are having a battle.
They're just barely on screen above you. It's been fun to see everybody being a lot more aggressive from that turtle position, working against the turtle from front headlock.
Look at Arson going in for a leg on Luke.
Oh hell
He
yeah!
actually slid in pretty well on that entry and everything. That was good.
Yeah, and Luke's like working the hand fight right now. Arson switches to outside Ashi.
Yeah, we went over that transition last Thursday.
Family friendly. This isn't a bowling alley. I don't know what you're talking about. Family friendly. What's that? this little move they did here. So again with the... Okay. Andrew and Jordan. Coming up on the end of the round. Josh and Chris both super tired.
Mm-hmm.
Josh must have been working on that Corvette all day.
Yeah. Yeah. The red one. Yeah. That's carbureted.
Yeah.
What year is it? What's up? I do jujitsu. What's happening?
What's going on, man?
Welcome to the chat.
So big props to Joe for taking me up on this last round. I think we were both pretty tired and sweaty at this point.
Yeah, I ducked you.
Yeah, you did. You saw, like, I didn't even ask you. Like, we made eye contact and you're like, no. I'm like, come on. So here I'm working from the underhook. Joe gets the whizzer and a bit of a reversal of roles. Normally earlier you saw me working with the whizzer and then going for the front headlock. Now I'm working from the underhook. Joe steps in for the Uchimata here. Everybody on their damn Uchimatas now. And then taking a page out of my conversation with Clay a couple weeks ago, from that underhook, switching to a near side grip on the shoulder. You could just barely see me getting my hand to the shoulder. Since I can't shuck Joe by with that with the underhook because he's weighing down heavily on me, he's won that wizard battle, putting the downward pressure on. Now I switch to going to the front headlock, pull him towards me, and then get to my front headlock there. Really, really love that. And then now, what you're gonna see during this roll again, because everybody's like in on the over under in the turtle position, so no one's falling for it. Now I'm gonna start feinting back takes. Not feinting. I will try to take your back, but look at what just happened there. So as I go to move behind to get Joe's back, watch his right hand pops up right there, getting ready to block me. Right, that's an arm that isn't protecting his neck, that isn't hand fighting or putting me, in a tight waist position, and or he's trying to put me in a tight waist position. My point is, it's not disrupting the front headlock. So I will be working to take your back, trying to get you to respond. If you don't, I'll take your back. If you do, I'll work back to the front headlock and try to sink in a guillotine. Just another way to set up with movement that high risk position that we learned.
Cool, man. Yeah.
Glad you love the channel, man.
Yeah. How long you been training?
So here, I attempt to take the back. Joe stays nice and tight, though. Doesn't give me a leg entry. And I wanted that knee bar briefly.
He's been guarding against that pretty well.
Yeah, it was just a roll. He just kind of rolled with me.
Yeah.
Andrew, I thought you were throwing up the guillotine there on Caleb.
Yeah.
So
tries to pull him back in.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me go back far enough before I get too critical. So I would be very careful here, Andrew, staying on your knees. This is a very vulnerable spot for you. This is where you're going to get doubled and put back. Make Caleb wear your weight. Get those knees off of the mat. It's also going to, I'm not going to say immobilize Caleb. He'll still be able to like move and try to like change angles, maybe try to sit out depending on how you have him gripped. But when you're kneeling like this, he just has a lot more mobility, and his hands aren't busy holding his shoulders off the mat, so he can more easily hand fight you here, right? So here you're not going to get the guillotine setup you want, that I think you're fighting for. You're just a little too far over his back. Looks like you're really trying to hand fight under there. I don't know. I don't know how deep you got on that, so it's hard for me to be too critical. Got some fancy emojis here. I like your jujitsu emojis.
You make like custom ones and stuff on Twitch?
I mean, all of ours are custom.
No, I know, but like being in the or like just being
I think he
regular
can
watcher.
He can use his, like we could use ours
okay.
in other people's chats. I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
Not that we ever do. So right here, I'm in cross ashi on Joe. Immediately, I knew I didn't have an easy heel hook, so I go to grab the second leg and try to get him under control before I start to really attack. So falling back, trying to put on straight ankle lock pressure. He pulls the leg away, and I just wasn't in a good spot. He had my head under control, so I couldn't get down to scoop the heel. I was running that second leg interference, trying to roll through. Managed to get to a knee bar instead as I moved to like a reverse ashi position. And he didn't want to tap to that. Again, taking a page out of Gary Tonon's book here from his previous MMA match, his most recent one, on the knee bar. Cross my ankles, trying to dig down. It's not working, so I go to stepping on my feet instead to add a little extra sauce on the finish here. Well, make them, Cole. Make them and send them to me, and I will add them to the channel. They just have to be like some ridiculous pixel size, like 12 by 12 or something crazy. And here, I think I managed to put my my game to work with the back feinting. So I go around, I take the back, it fails, I get back up. Here I go to the front headlock, right there, little shift to the side, I step up, and then quickly shoot in my arm, fall back. This is honestly in slow-mo, this looks terrible. What I don't like about this, my head is still pretty much on the center line. I don't know if I would call this a high-risk position. I'm falling to my back rather than to my right side. Look at all that space that I leave between. I mean, I guess his head's pretty deep in there, but like I'm not in the. This is a low-risk guillotine, right? I was trying for the high risk, so it works.
Low risk.
Yeah, it works. But this is space that shouldn't exist right now. And I should have fallen to my side instead of straight back. But here, I retain the position, retain the grip, and then start to crunch towards my right side to get the finish. But that did come from the setup of like the back feinting or trying to go to the back and then attacking the neck instead. And one last whizzer, Uchimata. Front headlock. Looks like Caleb managed to get on top, establish dominance, talk smack.
More set up.
staying safe. Entering on the legs. Big reap. Switching back to outside. Andrew, when you get here, I would continue to turn with this. Try to think about pointing this knee down to the mat. And back heeling that same leg. Like pull your right heel back towards your butt and point that right knee down to the mat. It'll make it hard for Caleb to do what he's doing right now, which is putting his foot flat to the mat, facing you and getting his leg safe. Man, so much going on today. That was rad. Yeah, awesome stuff. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our new followers. Really, really appreciate it. Up to 202 now, which is pretty awesome. Hope you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. If you are and you're lurking in the chat, throw us a follow. We appreciate the support. And if you can, subscribe. You can subscribe using your Twitch Prime at no cost to you, and it helps us out. There's that Pikachu. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we've got an IBJJF comp coming up soon. I think Coach Luke is going to be training hard for it, so we're all going to suffer for that. Yeah, I have a black eye because Gavin kicked me in the eye doing an armbar. So yeah, looks like I have some eyeshadow on. It's a pleasure to have you, Cole. So yeah, let's all help Coach Luke get ready for this this match coming up in September or October. I don't remember now. We gotta sort it out. In the meantime, yeah, like I said, follow us here, subscribe over at YouTube, where we'll post this for you guys to review. And anything else? Wrapping up leg week this week?
I don't think so. Yeah, close guard next week, right?
Yeah, and then back to close guard. So cool. In the meantime, go trim your nails and do your laundry, and don't be stinky. And we'll see you guys back at class. Later.